And we are back here at the State Hockey Centre, Depps Cross, where we are settling down. We've kind of had to sit down and relaxed after the last one. We are getting ready for the women's game, the second game of the night, where Port Adelaide will be taking on Adelaide. Port Adelaide again in the black and white. They will be attacking the right of your screen. Adelaide in the red, white and blue. I'm going to say red, white and blue because I think that's the easiest way to say that. You say it in any other order and it just doesn't feel right, does it?
No, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
So this one is 1 versus 4. Port Adelaide sitting on top of the league, which is probably unsurprising. Adelaide in 4th place. What is surprising, though, is when you look at the table, there is a 1 in the loss column for Port Adelaide, going down to Seacliff a couple of weeks ago. Port Adelaide will come out of their huddle and we'll be ready to go. As we get ready to go, we've talked about it constantly. We will see a different start to this, I think. And on Monday, when we had the regional and the zone championships. So we're underway here. Port Adelaide will look to break early. That one will be deflected wide for a Port Adelaide corner. We're seeing a lot lower scoring, and you actually sent us a message when we were doing the broadcast, talking about that.
Yeah, it's a real pet hate of mine, to be honest. I think women's hockey can be a high-scoring affair, but I just don't necessarily know if the thought goes into how you attack the circle. Guys are a bit different. They tend to break into...
Well, we've caught one on the hand now. We've had all sorts of body parts have been sorted out.
Yeah.
She's going to have to come off, though. Caught her right on the back of the hand. With the cold weather, that'll make it worse. We see the overhead, something we haven't seen much of in women's hockey. The overhead is something else that we talked about.
Certainly a few players in this, both teams that can actually throw some nice long bombs. Carly Sims, Brooke Appleyard in Adelaide's team, looking at Amy Waters.
So Courtney Rudd is playing for Port Adelaide. She has 9 goals this year. Jess Sibic has 8 goals on the year. Carly Sims has 8 goals. So they've got goals in them from all over the place.
They do. They're variable, which is handy. They've got a good short corner battery, but they also score some really nice field goals too.
Fiona Patton has 7 goals. She's the only one on the top scorers list that have been given. So that one is fired out, but can't be brought under control. But what's really interesting is who's top of the list is Mickey Spano. 20 goals in 11 games.
It's not bad.
Incredible strike rate.
It's not bad. And she's just been picked to go away for an Australian development tour to Japan, I believe. So congratulations.
Very well deserved, I would imagine.
Yeah. I think it's important to recognise the amount of training hours that go into a selection like that. It's not just pure luck. She works her bottom off for it, so it's fantastic to see.
Port Adelaide will get the circle entry. It's still bouncing around there. So one of our umpires is Shah. Can't see the other one.
The other one is actually my brother.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So he'll be tested tonight. Keep a critical eye on him.
Oh, very
Give him
much
his
so.
feedback.
Yeah.
So of course, we are live. We are interactive. Broadcast on the Hockey SA Facebook page. Let us know where you are. Have any questions for Holly? Send them through. We'll do our best to answer them if the girls will allow us to. Well, that was shut down, but Port Adelaide will get the free hit just outside. Adelaide will manage to clear. She gets her head up nice and early.
Yeah.
See Harrison start to work in that midfield again.
Yeah.
She was impressive last time up.
She's very much a consistent performer.
The amount that she gets through some work in that midfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bouncing around and finally it comes to an end with a Port Adelaide free hit. Something else we talked about when we were off air is the age, and you look at this Port Adelaide side, that surprisingly for one of the women's teams, that the age is quite high for most of these. So it just goes to show how long this team from Port Adelaide has been together.
Yeah, the likes of Jessie Sibic and Sarah Harrison have been playing together for, it would have to be a good 15 years, so they know where each other are, and they've had some new blood come in. And I think the real quality of their group is that they have stayed together for so long, and I think that's probably the reason why they've been so successful.
Whereas on the other hand, you look at the Adelaide side, there's a lot of girls who are around that 17, 18 mark.
Yeah.
Thinking when we're talking about the women's team and with regards to them being lower scoring, defensively, when we watch the women, they're so very, very well structured. Most of the teams that are playing, that one is turned over, and we'll see Harrison, and she'll look to pick a pass through to Dawes. Dawes just couldn't get it under control.
Yeah.
Just
So,
as I was talking about defensive
yeah.
structure, it fell over.
Yeah. Certainly in terms of getting into attacking positions, you know, when you can get around the back, such what you saw in the boys' game, you can just create some really dangerous opportunities. But
So that one's thrown down the line, and Dawes will work her way into that right-hand corner. That's right. Don't have any information. Oh, there she is. Chloe Dawes, 19 years old, striker, playing up from M1s. I think we might have seen her last time out as well. Very tall and very rangy. Works hard at that high striker position.
I was told
Ricky.
she came from WA this year, cousin of Jet Mallinson, who
Oh,
was
there you go.
playing for Port.
Harrison, who patrols that midfield and works as a link between defence and attack. That one will go harmlessly out. Mickey Spano, I'm saying thanks for the mention. For when you're averaging almost 2 goals a game, you're going to get one. Look forward to the next time we see Mickey Spano on our screens.
I think there's a Seacliff Uni game coming up, I thought I heard.
Sure whether it was next week. I was looking for my paperwork and I think it's next week.
It's another overhead coming in. It's good to see.
I do wonder whether the girls are watching these broadcasts and listening to the feedback from Mr. Victory, who obviously is... we just go for the tomahawk across, and Dawes almost got a stick on it. But Craig talked about, and obviously he's been involved, he was a former coach of the Suns.
Certainly was.
So-
Our winning year in 2011.
So he will, you know, the girls will respect his input as we get another circle entry, and it's still bouncing around there, and Dawes is in an awesome position, and then we'll get the first short corner of the night. Dawes' positioning already has been very, very impressive. She's got herself in dangerous positions. She's there and causing a nuisance of getting in front of the keeper. She's in the under-21 side, so we'll see her take on the Suns when we have that. It's not really an exhibition game, is it? What would you call it?
We've been calling them trial matches for Suns and practice matches for the 21s. Good standard though, for sure.
Good trap and just the hit, and it's bouncing around. It's still there. Harrison was there or thereabouts, and we'll have a second bite at that short corner. So good trap. She's gone with the hits, taken a nasty deflection, and it's come off the foot, and we'll go again. So it looks like a single battery with a couple of options off that battery though.
Both Courtney and Carly with some powerful hits, so.
Late shift again. Changed it round, and there's going to be the hit. Again, the gun runner did well. Got the stick in the way.
Certainly did. Certainly not a position that I want to be in.
Certainly not.
So Port playing very aggressive, not giving Adelaide much at all.
That high pressure again, and Harrison will pick it up just outside. She'll find a lovely pass through to Dawes. Dawes will get the deflection, and she will score. And that will be Port Adelaide 1, Adelaide 0. We talked about Dawes getting in those good positions, and there we see it. She gets in there. She gets a stick on it. She looks happy with her work.
She certainly does. Nothing like a good goal celebration. There is not enough of that in South Australian women's hockey.
There needs to be more. Well, I think, and we've talked about this in our petition, Hockey SA, there should be more time before the pushback to allow those celebrations. Adelaide now will have to...
Hattie Shand on the ball.
She was impeccable at the on Monday. She picked up a winner's medal, was in the best team. Harrison again will find that, and there is a 3-on-2. So without my stats, though, I don't know whether Dawes has scored, whether that's her first Premier League goal.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure it is. I'm getting a thumbs up, I think, from family in front of me. Give us a thumbs up if you're her dad. Grandad? Grandad. So we have Grandad sat in front of us. Another whistle and a free hit. Port Adelaide were looking for an advantage, but it never came. And they'll go quickly. The circle entry, she's just lost her feet though. Adelaide can try and come out. She gets the free hit for that hard work. Ooh, that one will be hit. Dangerous Lisa Shah. And again, Port Adelaide will get that turnover in the middle, and there is the second goal of the night. Through the 5-hole. Again, that circle entry is so important, and we're just starting to see now Port Adelaide at the devastating best. If you turn it over down there, you're in trouble. Let's see whether I can get number 23, Courtney Rudd from Wallaroo. It's Port Adelaide's second goal of the game.
The lovely thing about the last two goals are they're nice, composed, didn't try and blast away, but there were other players who just in some really nice spots. Both sides of the goal, just opening up the face, making the goal bigger, and just makes hockey look easy.
Business as usual now for these Port Adelaide girls. Good tackle though, and a lovely little outlet pass, and Adelaide will now look to get their head up. She's played that in front.
Georgia Griffin doing really well.
Shand will look to take on Harrison. Shand versus Harrison will be an interesting battle. Just couldn't get that one under control, and Port Adelaide will come out with a 16-yard hit. Port Adelaide again will look on this right-hand side.
Anyways.
Lovely ball inside, and that first touch comes off an Adelaide foot, and off they go quickly. She's gone far enough, so she'll get that circle entry, and there it is, another deflection and another goal, and that is Port Adelaide take the lead to 3-0. That deflection in front of the keeper is really causing problems for Gracie Henderson. So she went her 5 metres, then turned inside, just found that player in front of the goalkeeper, and easy as that.
Yep, Bridget Belton just popping it in.
So this could get ugly for Adelaide if they don't just pump the brakes a little bit and find the structure a little bit better. They're allowing Port Adelaide to make those circle entries a little bit too easily, I think.
Yeah. And they're very dangerous with those circle entries. Just
So talk about that. They get another one down by that tee that you were talking about, and this time Adelaide will get the free hit and be able to come away with it. Good overhead, misses everybody though. At least it will give Adelaide a chance to set up a press inside the Port Adelaide half.
yeah.
So how do you see the early stages of this one?
I think Port are definitely looking exceptional tonight. I love their passes, their ability just to be composed and just find stick-to-stick passes. That last goal, they literally went from their outlet to the goal without Adelaide touching it.
Well, Adelaide do have the odd rush, but there is Harrison coming and sweeping up. Picking up the pieces.
You'd look to see from Adelaide players like Emily Grist, Ali Pennington, Amy Waters, all just look to try and settle it down, start creating a bit of structure and composure, just to break that sort of just carrying ability from Port.
I mean, it's not over. Certainly not over. There's a long, long way in this one to go. But you are right, Grist and the older heads in the Adelaide side need to start getting their stick on it and building from the back. And again, you see the turnover high up, and Port Adelaide will just drop a gear.
Yeah.
Dawes works hard and wins it back again, very, very high up the field.
Port playing their standard high press, just not giving those defenders much room to get the ball out.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Nope.
Adelaide just feels like they're a little bit rushed when they get the stick on the ball. They rush a little bit too much. So the stick check there, and Port Adelaide will get a free hit just inside their own half. And they'll come all the way back. See Adelaide start to put a little bit of a high press on, which leads to a loose pass.
Much better pressing from Adelaide there. Yeah.
So you will have taken. You've played Port Adelaide already this year?
We have.
Your
yes.
thinking change as a team when you know you're playing against a team that has been as dominant as they have been?
To be honest, our thinking changes every game based on who we play. Against a side like Port, we really look to try and break their play down. So try and stop them. They get frustrated when they don't get those nice flowing passes. Whereas a team like Adelaide will play slightly differently. So I think each team that you play, you should slightly change. Otherwise, you become very obvious, and that's not fun at all.
Is it daunting when you know that it's coming up in the fixture list? Do you worry about playing Port Adelaide, or do you relish the challenge?
I relish it. I love it. I find them fantastic competitors. You're always going to get a great game.
As you get that circle entry from Adelaide, and oof, she went on the tomahawk, and Carly Simmons was no messing around in there.
No.
clearing out the rubbish from in front of the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Good opportunity for Adelaide, though. They just need to make those ones really count. I think that's probably the one thing that you do know against sides like Port. You're not going to have 50 opportunities to score a goal, so you've got to make sure your shots count, or you get short corners. And just trying to keep some composure and keep the ball yourself rather than letting them play around with it all night.
You definitely will get opportunities throughout the game. They're going to come. You just have to, like you said, got to make the most of them.
Yeah.
So that one goes.
You saw that in tonight's game with the boys, with Adelaide. They didn't have that many shots, but boy, they made them count.
They certainly did. They got the important ones.
That's exactly right.
Oh, she was given a lot to do, and she's done it, and she's done it very well. So that's 2 she's got rid of. She's got the free hit, but it certainly looked like she tripped over her own feet.
Yeah.
She got the free hit.
Probably
anyway.
from the tackle before, I'd say.
Now it's crowded, and Adelaide certainly looking a lot more structured at the back.
I'd love to see Adelaide just stretch a bit more, so you can see all those Port defenders sitting up near the halfway line.
And they are allowed to do that because they're not playing that high striker to stretch them out.
Yeah.
I wonder whether part of that is as well is that if you stretch it out, you also give Port Adelaide space when you turn that ball over.
That's exactly right. But you've got players like Hattie Shand who can cover the ground, and Fig Patton. They're super quick. They can chase back. Sometimes it's just that bit of the ball's been down that end, so I'm going to play a bit more defensive.
Port Adelaide will get another circle entry, and again they look dangerous, and again they find that spot in front of the goalkeeper. Adelaide have done better though this time, and they'll just clear that one out. Anywhere will do, so they can reset. Again, they found. It's obviously a coaching tactic from Paul Finney, just to sit in that danger area. A little sweet spot in front of the goalkeeper. Oh, that's a lovely pass. And unfortunately, she can't beat the last defender. She'll find Dawes out on this right-hand side. He'll turn back inside. Lovely skill. She got rid of another one. Again, talking about someone with long levers.
Oh, yeah, I'd love some of them.
We won't talk about the milk crate debacle.
No, let's leave that one right alone. Yeah. It's interesting, they did a study from, I don't think it was the last Olympics, the Olympics before, and they found about, apart from short corners, 80% of goals are scored within that 5-metre range. Whereas everyone practices from the top of the circle, but how you structure up right close in is super important.
Those little deflections from 5 metres out.
They're killers. Goalies have no chance with them.
Whereas if the goalkeepers, especially the standard of the goalkeepers that we see on a Friday night, if you give them time to look at a ball, they'll be able to stop it.
That's exactly right.
So Port Adelaide will look to break again. Adelaide have done well and got the numbers back. And they'll get the push in over on that far side. So Dawes will carry again. Look for that little reverse pass, just cut out by Grist, and Grist will keep running and keep going. And
oh, here we go.
so it's there or thereabouts. It's about how much pressure Adelaide can put on. Adelaide will have the chance now to put a high press on, but there's that overhead flick which gets rid of that. Craig, Victory will be happy seeing these and getting past that forward pressure.
Certainly, it's such an important skill to have. Doesn't necessarily need to be overused, but in this.
Oh, and again.
God, it must be the night for it.
Seen some incredibly tough players though who've just walked it off. Incredibly at times. Dawes has made the run through the middle. If she can find her, it's gone behind her, unfortunately. Leah Wellstead was looking for her, just couldn't find her.
No, the pressure from Hattie Shan just put Leah off a pass, which is great to see from the youngster.
And that's going to break for Adelaide, and no, that's a very, very good save. It's still bouncing around though. Port Adelaide will be able to sort it out. So Emma Verrill managing to close her legs just in time to prevent it going through. Better pressure from Adelaide. Good high pressure, but Port Adelaide have managed to break it. Now you see Dawes really start to push and stretch out that, as there's a lot of space for Port Adelaide now. Dawes got there first, but don't get the push in. As we see the replay, and Verrill did very, very well.
Certainly did.
Shut that one down. Port Adelaide's work in close quarters is incredible, and Dawes will pick up a free hit. Again, they get that circle entry around that tee, and again, Adelaide will just get rid of it. Grist using every year of... she's only 22, but she's been involved in hockey for a very, very long time.
Certainly has. She played her first Suns game in 2012.
There's certainly some very, very good players there. Shand, as we've talked about, has just got back from a tour of Europe. She was co-captain of the Australian schoolgirls side.
She's certainly a promising athlete.
And that one is thrown in, and Dawes again was in that front spot. Adelaide managed to get a stick on that time, and Port Adelaide will get the long corner.
We spoke about future Olympians, and she's definitely recognised. Leah Wellstead, who's on the ball now, still just a brilliant player.
That one is fired in, and again it got through. Rebecca Anderson was there or thereabouts. Going to be a long night for Gracie Henderson, I think. She's going to be made to work. She'll earn a paycheck tonight. So Port Adelaide now as well, just seeing them control the tempo now. I haven't managed to speak to Paul Finney this week, but last week when I spoke to him, he wanted to make sure that they played a full 70 minutes.
I guess that's the hard thing, isn't it? You go 3-0 up and you can just start cruising, and 3-0 is not that much in a game of hockey, and Adelaide come back with a couple of quick goals and they're right in it.
Well, I think both coaches will be saying to their teams at half-time, ignore the scoreboard, just play your hockey.
Yeah.
It's as important for Port Adelaide as it is for Adelaide.
Yeah.
Almost a lovely ball through, but again, Port Adelaide will cut it out. Jess Sibic will have a look, and again they're there, and Dawes again was in a dangerous place. Another long corner for Port Adelaide, so they'll get that repeat pressure again.
I'd love to see them use the space they were using in the first 15 minutes.
Space isn't there, and it's probably not there because Adelaide have done a lot better, but Sibic again will look to try and get that circle entry.
Yeah.
Harrison will steal it from her and turn back inside. Finds Sibic, who in return tried to find Harrison again, but Grist will just clear it. Adelaide will reset. I think this is part of the, when you take on Adelaide, and we talked about it, if you shut down Harrison, then you then have to deal with Sibic.
Yep.
Shut down Sibic, you have to deal with Harrison.
Yeah. Yep, both junior Australian players, so fairly handy.
So that one will go over the top. Good trap out of the air by Carly Sims.
Yeah.
Oh, that very nearly got through, but Adelaide have managed to clear it. Capel Yard working hard, and Harrison will get a head up again and find Sibic. Adelaide looking to play out. And they'll get the free hit. So we saw Sibic, we also saw on the back of the shirt, 1934, so there's a lot of history in that Port Adelaide club.
Good
That's
control.
a lovely turn from Shandon. This is what we saw from her at the weekend, her ability to keep control of it. Find a pass, which she does, by way of a Port Adelaide stick, but it's still got there. That's a lovely turn on the inside. And they'll fire that one across, and they'll get a long corner out of that. Carly Sims, who often patrols just in front of that goalkeeper and just clears up any mess out there.
Yeah, playing very much a sweeping role. Just clearing everything.
No nonsense defender, Sims.
No.
Shandon unfortunately turns that over to Harrison. She's got doors on this right-hand side, and she'll get going with those long, rangy legs of hers. She's got herself tied up a little bit. Shan went for the clearance. Unfortunately, it went straight to a Port Adelaide stick, and they'll get another long corner.
Yeah. It's very dangerous. You make these nice tackles and then just throw the ball away. And unfortunately, it just goes straight back to Port, and they come straight back at you again. Just trying to keep enough composure to keep control of the ball. And then you're doing the attacking instead. That's much better.
Grist to Shan, so you would expect it from players of that calibre.
Certainly.
Christie made her broadcast debut on Monday. In fact, so did Hattie.
Oh, nearly another super sub.
It's definitely a tactic. See it in
Yeah.
AFL all the time, just sneaking on from the interchange bench into space.
Might have to bring that into the Mighty Zulus.
Because you are coaching this year, you're coaching the Zulus this year.
Yeah, co-coaching with Ash Thompson.
The super coach.
We certainly have battles on who's the favourite coach, that's for sure.
So you don't play good cop, bad cop.
No.
Grist will find a nice little outlet pass. Adelaide have managed to find themselves up and around the right place. They'll get a long corner. There must be a free hit because they're playing it from down there.
Yeah.
So we're in the last 5 minutes of this one, so we talked about red time, and Adelaide again will just manage to get a stick, and
Would love to see Adelaide score a sneaky goal, make the game interesting.
completely unbiasedly, of course, completely impartial in this
Yeah.
commentary position. But a goal would be good for this game at the moment.
That's exactly right.
So they'll get to the byline. She'll have to come back though. And she keeps working down that byline. She beat a couple, got the free hit eventually, just outside. So they'll be able to at least get a circle entry out of it.
It's always interesting to see what players do around this area. It's pretty tight.
She was attacking the tee, I think, looking for a short corner. Unfortunately, it's gone the other way.
Yeah, good tackling.
Ash Thompson, hashtag bad cop. Andrew Ellis saying Ash Thompson, hashtag supercoach.
We're lucky enough to have Andy Milne as well as part of our coaching group, who you also had on the Monday, I believe.
Yes,
I think he commentated possibly the 15 girls.
yeah, because I think
he said.
he's coach of the under 13s, I think.
Yeah.
The 13 women's state side.
Yeah.
So Adelaide just need to keep playing their hockey, but they've turned that over, and there is an odd man break at the moment. That one just gets away from Belton. She'll have to chase that one.
Yeah.
Better from Adelaide as they
Yeah.
manage to shut the door on that one, and not give it away needlessly.
I guess that's where I'd like to see us as a state get a little bit better. We make such great runs, and it's that last pass that sort of lets us down.
It's been something we say a lot on a Friday night, and Port Adelaide at the beginning of the game seem to have got it sorted out. They've gone off the boil somewhat,
Yeah.
and that's probably because Adelaide have managed to settle themselves into it. Unfortunately, they've settled themselves after giving Port Adelaide a 3-goal lead. And again, Sims will just shut that down. Very little gets past Sims. It's like a receptionist at a doctor's surgery.
She's got fantastic hand and eye, so you have to move the ball pretty far out of her reach to get around her.
Rock solid at the back. Emma Verrill must love playing behind her, because the amount of work that Sims will take off the goalkeeper is incredible.
They might get a bit bored.
I'm sure she'd rather be bored than busy.
I think that's why I play midfield and not goalie.
So that one will go all the way through, and it looks like by the time that this one comes back, we will be done. And Port Adelaide have jumped out to a huge 3-0 lead in this first half. Your thoughts on the first half?
Port came out firing, didn't they? I mean, the
first 10 minutes, almost shell-shocked Adelaide. There was nothing that they seemed to be able to do, and Chloe Dawes scoring her first ever Premier League goal.
It's fantastic, and the celebration as well.
Big smile on her face
Yeah.
as she ran off.
Yeah.
But it's certainly business as usual for Port Adelaide, and they will continue their march towards winning the minor premiership.
Yep.
We will step away, and this watching this Friday Night Live, brought to you by Hockey SA and powered by Space Quick Sports.
I probably started playing hockey around about 12 years ago for the North East Hockey Club. I started in Division 4 and I've worked my way up to Premier League a few years ago. Last 2 years in Premier League we've made the finals, so we're starting to make some progress at the North East Hockey Club also. Just after last season, in mid-November, I found a lump in my breast and got diagnosed with early breast cancer. It was quite high grade and very aggressive, so I underwent surgery straight away, had a partial mastectomy, but they didn't quite get it all, so I went back for a double mastectomy, followed by some chemo, which I've just finished. It's very hard for Jessie coping with the changes that would occur, you know, worrying about me having surgery and then seeing me really sick with the chemo, and you know, it was just very hard for him to see that, but he was very accepted all the challenges very well, and you know, was able to adapt and be very supportive through the whole thing. Really, very proud of him. My teammates are fantastic, and my coaches also, Ashley and Holly. They've really encouraged me to be able to keep going. I love going out to hockey just because of the support of all the girls. Even the weeks I couldn't do anything, if I could get out there, you know, it'd be fantastic just to see them and not be feeling so sick for a little while. I've come back through Metro 1. I've been playing each weekend. The first weekend I partway through the match, I'd probably run 5 minutes, then I'd need to stop. And once I found myself on the Adelaide bench, because I couldn't quite make it back to our own bench. And they were fantastic also, you know, supporting me and making sure I was okay and helping me back to my own bench where I really should have got to in the first place. But the first Premier League match that I was back for was last week, and I felt quite lost on the pitch as far as knowing what to do, but you know, my teammates helped me out, and then last week I've back to Metro 1 again and I've got to build my way back up again. I know I'll play hockey to the same standard as I did before cancer, and that's what, for me, getting back to playing hockey actually is my measuring stick for being normal again. Actually, I know once I'm playing Premier League hockey properly, then I'll be back to normal. My name is Leslie Thompson and I love hockey.
I started playing hockey when I was 4, and it's like my dad that kind of got me into it, and from then I've really enjoyed playing hockey with my friends, probably the friends that like make me want to keep on doing it. and yeah, I just love playing it. I play for Adelaide Hockey Club in under 14s, 18s, and men's Div 2. Yeah, it's pretty different. It's all grown men, so I'm the smallest one running around. It's not too bad, but just got to be careful with the hits and stuff. The premierships that I've won are 2 under 13s and 1 under 13 zone championship and an under 15 comp. And we've came first in like the whole season, but then we got knocked out in the finals a few times. So in like hockey season, I don't have any hits by myself, but in off season I usually do like quite often. I usually do like skills circuits and stuff like that. My video on Facebook that got picked up with Jamie Dwyer was pretty exciting. Doing some skills like spinning, dragging and stuff. Oh, my favourite hockey player is probably Jamie Dwyer. He's just so fast, got crazy skills. And probably Jake Whiten as well. He's got amazing skills and he just keeps working hard. I want to make like as many state teams at the moment, but it would be cool to play for Australia, so that'd be a far-term goal. But one of my short-term goals is to play the under 16 Australian team. But yeah, that's only in a few years' time though. My name's Charlie Roberts and I play hockey.
And welcome back to State Hockey Centre at Jeps Cross as we see the Port Adelaide bench. So get ready for the second half. We have Jen Dawes saying she's watching her niece, Chloe Dawes. Now, we have talked about her a lot in that first half, but your thoughts on Chloe Dawes in that first half? I'm talking about it because I think it's only her second game in the Prems. Steps up from M1s and gets a goal and second Friday night. So she's done it on the big show in front of the world.
Well, I think she's very exciting as a player. Those long, lanky limbs, just getting touches, moving ball around. It's great. We need more of that sort of aggressive play.
So 19-year-old, as you said, come from Western Australia. I think there's obviously some roots in South Australia. Grandparents are sitting in front of us so they can listen to us talk her up. So just missing the vital ingredients of a ball at the moment. Nobody went to get it at half time.
It is kind of important.
It's the most important thing, you would suggest. So, your half-time team talks to both of these consisted of?
Oh, I think Port just need to get back to that quick ball movement that they showed. I think moving the ball around Adelaide, not letting them get a touch, I think that worked pretty well for them. Adelaide, I'd love to see Adelaide just compose themselves over the ball a bit more. Even if they try a few different types of structural pressing or, something to freshen it up. Try something new.
We had an exclusive interview at half-time as well with Ash Thompson.
We did after he brought me a cup of tea.
Brought you a cup of tea and we had an interview. He says that you are the super coach and he just rides your coattails. You do all the hard work and he stands on the sideline and points.
Well, he stands on the sideline at points and I stand in the middle of the field and points, so we're kind of covering both angles.
You cover the whole lot.
Yeah, the girls don't get a chance to get away from us.
There's no rest for the wicked, is there? Oh, that's a lovely ball. It just didn't get through, but she's managed to get that one under control. Then gets her head up.
Yeah.
Happy to go backwards to Grist.
Yeah.
That one pops up, but everyone's happy to play on. Adelaide will get the free hit, and they are off. Got away with not being 5 in that one.
There's a number of past and present Sunners girls playing tonight for both sides.
I'd be surprised if Port Adelaide didn't have a strong Sun contingent.
Yeah, you saw Brooke on the ball, who played last year. Sarah Harrison's played for many years. It was part of the national championship winning side. You've got Emily Grist on the other side.
I think Sarah Harrison is wearing the captain's leg band today. I think for her as well, she will have... she hasn't done as much work as she had to in the last game.
No.
And now Adelaide will get the break, and there is there, and she's got the circle entry.
There
Harrison
she is.
has done the work, but there's a short corner to Adelaide, their first one of the night. So we'll see what they can make of this one.
Stronger start from Adelaide, which is good.
Better tempo.
Yeah.
This is where, from a coaching point of view, you'll certainly want these routines to work. Ian Jennings will have worked hard on this, and this is going to be one of the few opportunities that Adelaide will have, so they must make the most of it. Double battery. Grist will flick that to the left, and unfortunately it's just behind. Got to work to keep it in, but she's stick checked, and off goes Harrison.
Yeah.
She'll get her head up and play a nice easy ball inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dawes again, when you think you're far enough away from her, that big long arm will come out and cause you all sorts of problems.
Yeah. Lovely run by Emily Grist.
And there we see the overhead flick from Grist, brought under control.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you notice about Port Adelaide is how quickly they get their head up when they receive the ball.
Yeah. It's actually a reasonably hard skill to master, because you've got people coming at you and you want to close off and protect the ball, but by getting your head up, you just give yourself that chance to do so much more with it. Lovely wide ball too from Leah.
And she'll go back and get it again, and she'll get that circle entry, and she'll strike on goal. And there's a great save from Gracie Henderson. It's still bouncing around in there. Dawes will force them to pass out to this left-hand side. Shand against Harrison again. Harrison will get the better of that one. The door is shut down, but they'll get the free hit just outside. Going to be a big learning experience for Shand playing against Harrison.
Yeah.
I know we talked before we came to her about Shand's performances at the weekend. As short corner to Port Adelaide again, the third one of the night. But we talked about Shand off air before we started tonight, and when she plays at her level, she is impeccable. She's now testing herself against very, very good players, so excellent for her to test herself on this level, especially against the likes of Port Adelaide.
Certainly, Sarah Harrison has some fabulous attributes. She's hard on the ball, she's intense, and they're the things that you need to learn. They don't just come naturally. So for Hattie to step up to the next level, that's what she needs to have for her whole 70-minute game.
So Wellstead will inject. Nice quick injection, and that one will be struck at goal, and still bouncing around in there, and there'll be another short corner. Harrison was lurking around at that back post. Port Adelaide will go into their huddle. Work out what they're going to do. Do you have code names for your short corner moves?
Hockeyroos we did. They're all coffees. Cappuccinos, macchiatos, long blacks, short blacks.
Another good injection. The injection speed is good, and unfortunately couldn't bring it under control, and Shand will bring that one under control. There we see, when she gets the time and space, she's very, very good, but Port Adelaide streaming back in defence and managing to turn it around. Adelaide managed, good turn, and she's got Grist on the overlap if she could find her. She couldn't, but she'll get the free hit. Adelaide with a little bit of pressure, and Port Adelaide will just smother everything. Well, Harrison uncharacteristically gives it away, but then goes back and gets it.
Yeah.
Everybody stop there. Adelaide will get, and off she goes. Well, I didn't think she got away with not being 5 at that time. First little bit of repeat pressure that we've seen from Adelaide. They must make something from this. They'll need a short corner or an attempt on goal. Again, that Port Adelaide shut that door. They will get to launch another attack.
Yeah. Very good ball.
Just missing the Port Adelaide high press. And she got the free kick.
Ooh.
Ah, it's my first one of the night. Come on, give me that hot. Courtney Rudd just making sure that she had to go around. Should have been a free kick because you give her the hip and shoulder.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's exactly right.
Harrison will play that ball through to Dawes. And just in front, unfortunately. Sibic will turn that over inside the Adelaide half. Happy with it for it to run out and launch from there.
Yeah.
Just lifts it over.
Yeah.
Well steady.
Go. Here's a pace.
A little dynamo when she gets
Oh,
going.
she is. Yeah, yeah. I hate trying to chase her. Must admit. Minyo Miles on the pitch. Minnie was playing for the Suns when I first started, which was a fair few years ago. She played Junior World Cup for Australia.
Just turned inside out. Another free hit. Port Adelaide looking very, very comfortable, and there will be another short corner.
Just smart hockey there.
So fourth short corner of the night. If we're going to pick anything about Port Adelaide tonight, is it the short corner percentages are off at the moment? Sure, Paul Finney will have them in for early training tomorrow.
Maybe dependent on how this one goes. Just like them to launch one, I think. And Carly's popped herself out to the left.
Sibic in attendance there.
Yeah. We might even see Lindsay flick.
The injection's good. And
Oh.
she's not going to get there, but she'll manage to make something of it. She pulled that back. She thought about it. It's going to be a tomahawk on goal, and there's a great
good
save. Really good save. And
Yeah.
Wellstead, unfortunately, was the last stick on it for Port Adelaide and couldn't get it under control, so Adelaide will come away. Excellent save by Gracie Henderson. Starting to grow into her game now. Current under-18 state goalkeeper. Harrison again will start to dominate there, and Dawes and Harrison will try and work in tandem. Harrison knew the free hit was coming. Grist gets her head up nice and early, and she'll have to Harrison to deal with. It's a lovely ball from Grist.
Oh, that's just delightful.
Pennington will let that run, but Port Adelaide, the speed of transition from attack to defence is incredibly impressive. She looked for that interchange bench pass again, but couldn't get the player off in time.
They'll have to keep working on that one.
Harrison takes on two.
I think Harriet's been popping in some really nice spaces, number 21 for Adelaide. I think she also played in the Zone Champs, so...
Port Adelaide will come away. Well, the turn was there, but couldn't get it under control, and Adelaide will go away. Talking about Gracie Henderson, she goes year 12 student from Unley High. Just had to confirm with my friend Google. But very famous alumni from Unley High. Former Prime Minister Julia Gillard went to Unley High.
There you go.
Oh, it's a lovely ball into Grist. And again, Grist, look for that ball. Sorry, is that Erin Cameron? Sorry.
Yeah.
Cameron will find Waters. Waters will carry, and she will get that circle entry. Leah Wellstead shut the door, and away come Port Adelaide again. Transition speed either way is very, very good. They look for the first time pass, and they've turned it over.
Yeah.
So they'll have to test that transition from attack to defence now.
Fantastic
It's a strong
tackle.
brace tackle. They have found their way into that circle. She's under a lot of pressure, looking for a short corner, doesn't get one. Port Adelaide will get the free hit and be able to come away.
Just needed to keep a stick on the ball and roll off. Just be a little bit more composed in that circle. But great posting play by Harriet.
So there's a stoppage. I think there's something on the pitch. The umpire's just going to clear it off. It's like something she doesn't want to pick up. A couple of kicks, but we got there.
There you
I'm
go.
allowed to say kicks now.
There you are. Yeah, there you go.
So Port Adelaide will leave that one to Courtney Rudd.
Yep.
She'll get her head up and lift that one. And
Trap. Well done.
Shand has done very, very well. Her close control is fantastic, and Shand will get the better of Harrison that time and gets the free hit for her work. She'll play on quickly and fire that one across, and that one is just going to go behind off Appleyard for a long corner. Again, when we see Shand get the time and space, she can do something with it.
Certainly can.
Adelaide get to the byline,
Yeah.
and the poor girl gets a defender from the back, and then the face full of Emma Verrill. She did
Adelaide
well.
using the ball well though now.
Good turn, gets to the byline. She's just shepherded in there, and then Verrill comes and finishes off the job. Adelaide are starting to build pressure on Port Adelaide. This is probably the area of the game that Paul Finney is saying that they drop, and he'll want them to keep playing.
Just love to see them move the ball around like they did at the start of the game. Adelaide didn't even get a touch on it. Now they're just trying to force passes. I think that's quite common in women's hockey. Not entirely sure why, but we just really love going straight through the defender. But unfortunately, they're actually reasonably good.
Well, Port Adelaide have shown that when they get that one-touch football, that one-touch hockey going. Because I was thinking about Liverpool in the 80s, that's what it was. But like Liverpool in the 80s, where it's control and give and into space, and the players automatically know that they're going to run into that space. It's incredibly difficult to deal with.
Oh, it's nothing more demoralising than just running your whole night without actually getting to touch the ball.
Adelaide managed to deal with that one well. Headers up nice and early, and Shand will resume her battle with Harrison. Shand will get the better of that one as well. So she's starting to grow into this game.
Starting to grow.
Very, very smart hockey player, even though she is just 17. Hails from Naracoorte, but is boarding in Adelaide at the moment. There's a agricultural challenge, but she gets the decision from the umpire, and Port Adelaide now will play out of the back.
Yeah.
And that's a lovely ball out to that right-hand side, and they have got numbers now. And if that gets through, she just couldn't get the control. If Sibic had managed to get the control, it was big danger signs for Adelaide. Shan may have made a broadcast debut with us on Monday, but she makes a TV debut soon as well. She did a section for Really Wild, so she'll be on TV shortly.
It's fantastic. We need more hockey in the media.
Port Adelaide will manage to get there, and Wellstead turned into an Adelaide defender. Shand again will there, and again she'll have Harrison to deal with, and Harrison will win that one. Had a long chat with Sarah Harrison last time after the last time out, and I'm sure she won't mind us saying that is the old versus the new. That is the future,
Yeah.
the future son taking on a current son. Good trap out of the air, and she'll get her head up and fire that one forward.
Yeah.
Hoffman just couldn't get control, but again, Adelaide can get there.
Yeah.
Certainly look better as they've gone on, but to give Port Adelaide a 3-goal lead means that
That's
there
better
could be problems
hockey.
in there. It's a lovely touch from Grest, just did enough to put her off.
Yeah.
Save was still had to be made by Gracie Henderson. And that one will go out for a 16-yard hit. Nice overhead flip, but Harrison with great control out the air, and then manages to bring it under control and work down that left-hand side, and we'll get the free hit. When you look through this Port Adelaide side, Rebecca Anderson played in 16 grand finals, won 11. Sarah Henderson played in 16 grand finals, won 12. Played in 6, won 5. So much finals experience in that Port Adelaide side. Harrison nearly kills her umpire. Not on purpose, I'm sure. Harrison will get the stick in again.
Yeah.
She'll look inside to Wellstead, and she'll look to get those dynamo legs of hers going.
Yeah.
One is played down that left-hand side, and Patton just unfortunately couldn't get hold of it. Good control. Rebecca Nolan needed to make control, needed to get hold of that because she had Sibic lurking behind her. Adelaide will get another circle
That's
entry. That one's fired across, and there's a deflection, and there's the Adelaide goal. Look at the celebration.
So that's Minnie Miles. So she had a couple of years off after having, I think she's got 3 little kiddies now.
There you go. Lovely pass, and they get one in the soft spot. So the comeback is on. 15 minutes to go.
Let's go. Yeah.
So they are winning the second half. 1-0.
Yeah.
Take anything you can get from it at the moment, but
Yeah.
hopefully they haven't poked the bear.
Yeah, well, this 5 minutes is that red time again. And I think, it can go either way, really.
We need to consolidate.
Yeah. Adelaide score another goal, then it gets pretty tricky. Port might come out and score another 3. You just don't know.
There she is.
There she is. Oh,
Been
yes.
playing in the competition for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Certainly doesn't look like she would have been playing in the competition for 20 years. She doesn't look old enough. Didn't she start when she was 7?
She'll love you. Yeah.
So Adelaide with their tails up a little bit now. They've certainly played a lot better in the second half, and Ian Jennings will be happy with their second half display. Shan does well and gets the free hit. That's what she can do. She doesn't give away the ball cheaply. Murph finds that lovely little inside ball, and another inside ball to Grist. Oh, that's a strong, strong challenge. Another one that Cheney would be happy with.
Yeah.
They went quickly. Ball came up off Harrison, but Adelaide will have the free hit. It'll come out right to Waters, and Waters will fire it in.
That 45-degree ball against Port is just not normally a very on. They're very good at staying on the danger line.
Now we'll go out for a long corner. Came off an Adelaide stick. So we are about 13 minutes to go in this one.
starting to look a bit colder on the pitch. You can see some of the
We've
players.
got colder up here, and you've been looked after by
Yes,
Hockey SA.
yeah.
You've got your Nana blanket
Got
on
my
your
Nana
knees.
blanket. Good Crows colours, like it should be.
State colours, please.
That's, oh, sorry. Yep, that's right.
It's a lovely little reverse ball from Greston. Adelaide starting to come into this one.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide still comfortable in the lead, 3-1. I think another thing that be remiss of us not to talk about is that Port Adelaide, obviously nobody has, we've not called anybody more than anybody else. It's been a really good team performance. So it's smashed towards that front line, and it will go all the way through. Farrell will have to clear it. It's been an all-round team performance. That's something that Paul Finney will be pleased with.
It's generally been the theme of the night, I think. Same in the
Certainly
boys'
has.
game, I think.
We have the big white snakes that are sitting in the back, which was a brand new idea from Brodie Gleeson, who's working on the grounds tonight. Friend of the show, Brodie Gleeson. Stop the balls going over halfway in the warm-up. But it also stops the ball bouncing back to the goalkeepers, and they have to go and do a little bit of work for a living.
And then players get a little bit of a break to have a breather before they start sprinting again.
Missing a ball again. Carly Sims will slide that one through to Harrison. It's a lovely turn from Harrison. She'll put her head down and she'll start going, and everyone's left her alone. I thought she was going to go for goal, but unselfishly she looked for doors at the back post.
She's probably almost a little bit shocked no one pushed up on her.
Yeah.
Sometimes as the ball carrier, it's actually quite daunting thinking someone's going to push up and you can just slip it behind. And
It'd be quite disconcerting. It's like the parting of the Red Sea for her.
Yeah.
Sure, soon when she watches it back, she'll
Wish she
had that one back to just have a shot at goal. But again, lovely turn.
It's certainly easy for them up here, I'll say that.
Well, yes, that's very true. You know what they say, those who can't do, teach. And those who can't teach, talk about it on a Friday night. That's a lovely turn though, and Shand will resume work against Harrison, and again wins a little mini battle between the two. Been an intriguing battle all through the night, Shand versus Harrison. Good high pressure, and they'll get the free hit for their work. And Shand will go quickly, but umpire saying she wants it playing from exactly where she wants it playing. Amazing me that every week players try and get away with it.
You do try and push the boundaries, because the thing is, when you take it from a slightly different angle and the press is set up for something specific, it makes your job a lot easier. So you just try and push boundaries a little bit.
Port Adelaide will get the free hit as we enter the last 10 minutes of this game, and they'll be able to relieve a little bit of the pressure that Adelaide have put on. Lovely little ball to Harrison, and Harrison will just turn inside. She will find an outlet pass. Oh, lovely turn from Shand, but Harrison won't give her a second on the ball. Harrison again. Incredible amount of work. I'd like to see her GPS readout, to be honest. I'd like to see a GPS put on her and see how much ground she travels.
Most girls internationally would cover about 8 to 9 Ks. So I reckon she'd be getting close.
Should be up there. She'll play on to herself. Finally gets there, and she'll get it back, and now she'll have a go at goal. And that one will just miss the the right hand upright. Henderson had it covered though.
Nice quick shot though. That's what we like to see.
think she would have liked the more time and space like she had on the last run in.
Yes. Yep.
Sure she won't want to be reminded of it. That one will go for a long corner. Minnie Gobelos has got a taste for it now. She's trying to find herself in front of that goalkeeper again, try and get a second of the night. It's a nice turn inside, but again, Harrison is there and causing all sorts of problems. Big swing at it.
Yeah.
But even then, she couldn't get rid of her. So Adelaide will have another free hit. Played quickly to Grist, and Grist will find the ball
good.
inside and they get the circle entry. Nice little turn, and they'll get the short corner for it. So their second short corner of the night.
Yep. Ali Pennington, just smart hockey there.
I have to say, a goal here will make for a very interesting last 5 minutes.
Very much so.
Port Adelaide crowd has gone a little bit quieter than they were at the beginning. Certainly will put some pressure on them.
So they've got Rebecca Nolan on battery 2, Amy Waters battery 1. They've also got Minnie to the slip left.
So Hoffman will inject 15-year-old. Good injection, good trap. There's the shot. Just gone wide. Emma Verrill was just lying on the floor making sure nothing. And I talked about this in the past though, without the drag flickers. Verrill is quite comfortably, they can't go over her.
That's exactly right, yeah. I would love to see a few more girls step up. The technique of drag flicking is reasonably hard, but it's all about the hips, so there's no reason why girls can't get amongst it. And you see the success at international level from players like Jodie Kenny and Anna Flanagan and so forth. So, you know, we've got girls with some long levers.
Certainly would be getting in the ear of Chloe Dawes and making that skill. She has a lot of Cameron Joyce about her when you look at her and
Yep.
how she plays. She'll probably mature into that sweeper role. But yeah, you certainly want the coaching teams to get into her.
Yeah.
I would imagine that she'll be there or thereabouts for that under-21 state side, which will be playing on the 28th of June.
Certainly will. She's been playing in the practice matches so far.
Do you know who's coaching the under-21s? You all aware?
I do. I believe it's Dan Mitchell. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. He was the one barking our orders on Wednesday night. So we've had our second game so far in that one, and I think you'll see the 4th or 5th game live streamed. So
It's trying to slide through, but Grist will take control of it. Turn inside, but there is those long levers from Dawes.
yeah.
Well, Adelaide will turn it over in the Adelaide half, and they will get that circle entry. Just flicked up off Dawes' stick, and Adelaide will get the free hit just outside, and they'll be able to work away.
You can see the difference in confidence now of Adelaide. They've started really stretching that Port back four.
Really high striker now, which we didn't see in the first half.
Yeah. It's good. And then now you've got Harriet working back, which is fantastic.
Certainly got the tails up.
Yep.
So that one is played inside to Sivic. Lovely turn, and she'll just play that in front. Henderson will calmly kick it out. Just couldn't get the final touch to bring that one under control. So we are in the last 5 minutes. Red time for both teams. Grist as well, and we'll find Shand. Good tackle though by Sims, and Sims will get a head up. A good track back by Shand. Again, they get almost into that circle, but Adelaide will play out. We're certainly seeing an evolution of the women's game as well from when we started, and again, I don't want our broadcast to take too much credit, but we get the feedback from Craig, and obviously we have incredibly knowledgeable co-commentators with me, and these things like not just firing away and playing out and looking for passes. We've seen that as Port Adelaide will get another circle entry. Big swing and brave.
Tackle.
Incredibly brave, and she'll flick that out to Patton. Patton will give it back, and they've got the overload. They've got the overload, and the ball doesn't get through. Harrison with no sense of drama makes the interception, and that will go out for a long corner.
Fabulous work.
Oh, that's a lovely ball into the circle, and there it is again. And Gobelos has made it 3-2 with about 2 minutes to go.
She's still got it. She's still got
Adelaide
it.
dream. Dare they dream? So, what do you do now if you're Port Adelaide? Do you try and clock manage, or do you just play as you have been? And they nearly turned that one over. And off goes Wellstead.
Yeah.
So that one will flick up.
No.
She's still going when she'll get the free hit. So we're under 2.5 minutes to go.
Port definitely aren't clock managers, that's for sure. They're resilient, they're strong.
How's that for a night out for Gobelos, though?
Oh, I know.
Am I saying that right, or is it Gabolos?
I'm just going to call her Minnie.
Minnie.
Yeah.
Now Adelaide will manage to get out. Now that last goal from Adelaide, it was started with the tackle in the circle. Incredibly brave, because there was a big backswing.
Yeah.
She put herself where she needed to be. She got the turnover, and off they went. Now we see those one-touch passes from Port Adelaide, and they'll get the free hits outside. Minute and a half to go. I think you'll probably see them pump the brakes a little bit and not go incredibly quickly. So that one has gone in, and now Adelaide will have the free hit, and they can go, and they have got the high striker. They're really now trying to stretch them. Grist will go as well, as that one is just fired into midfield. Good control. Brooke Appleyard managed to bring it under control, and off she goes on a little run. Still going with it. There's a whistle. He's put his whistle away, so it must have been a Port Adelaide advantage, and Harrison will just shift it out, and unfortunately she can't get anywhere. We are in the last minute. So Adelaide will have to chase it.
Yeah. Adelaide have popped 2 up quite high. Well, now 3.
It's do or die now, really.
Yeah.
That one will be smacked in. Somebody's got a stick on it. Adelaide will turn it over just outside the circle, and Adelaide now will get to come away. Shand will have to get her head up and fire it early. Unfortunately, she just can't find an outlet pass. Port Adelaide will have the push in. Sure, she'll take her time trying to pick a target. She plays on, and now the press will come. Very calm little pass over the top. Again, it's cut out, and Adelaide can launch something with 10 seconds to go, but they've turned it over. They will get the free hit. There's not going to be time, though, for them, as that one will be fired forward, brought under control by Pennington, but unfortunately that will be another ripper end to a game, just to keep us nice and warm up here. But Adelaide win that 3-2. Not as comfortably as they thought they would. Your thoughts on tonight then, Holly?
I think Adelaide will rue the fact that they started out a little bit slow. Port just jumped them early. But I loved Adelaide's pick-up in the second half. I think it was just their general desire to get the ball strong. And Port just sort of zoned out, I think.
Well, once they settled into it, like we said, Port Adelaide jumped out to that 3-0 lead. They gave them a 3-goal start, essentially. But then the game settled down, and Adelaide showed some really, really good stuff. They won the second half 2-0. So there's a lot of positives for Ian Jennings to take out of this one. Paul Finney, again, he's going to have to go back and make sure that they start playing the 70 minutes again. A lot of work-ons for them. Of course, once we get into knockout hockey, it's going to be tough for them. But, of course, we will say it again, Chloe Dawes scoring her first Premier League goal. And great thing about it being broadcast is that is enshrined forever. That is never going away.
Yeah. And then we saw Minnie scoring what I assume to be her first 2 goals in a good 3 or 4 years, I think. So
it's been a night of first. It's been a wonderful night of hockey. It's been a great night of hockey as we see the players work their way off. And make sure you get on the Hockey SA website for all of the upcoming stuff. Hockey Week starts on the National Hockey Week starts on the 17th of June. All sorts of stuff going on, all sorts of stuff. Keep an eye on social media as well, because Live, Love, Life, Hockey is going on for 2017. Make sure all there. From me, Dave Webb, and from Holly Evans, thank you for joining us for this wonderful night of hockey. We will see you again soon for the next PL Friday. Make sure you stay nice and warm tonight, because she's going to be a cold one. Thank you very much for tuning in to this, brought to you by Hockey SA and powered by Spacequake Sports.